Hello, welcome to the Monday Corner. My name is Lorna and today we're going to tour the garden. It's been a few weeks, so let's see how everything's been growing. Let's start off with the pumpkins. I'm really happy that I planted 3 seeds, as you saw, and in fact 2 of them germinated. So because I don't think I have enough space for 2 plants, I am going to pull one out and let hopefully one grow without being interrupted by snails or slugs. Now moving on, the lavender here has taken up the whole pot. The grape is starting to grow. This is a huge potato forest and we actually had a bit of a potato disaster. A couple of my plants completely fell over. You can see they're still bent at the bottom. They were very wilted underneath. Some of the top branches had snapped off. The leaves suggested that they'd been overwatered because they had little white dots, but if you touch the soil, it was very dry. I've put in these 4 bamboo canes and some string around to keep the plant propped up, as the rest of it looks healthy. I'm just hoping it's going to grow potatoes, and you can see the other one I had to do behind that one there. So hopefully they grow. I'm going to give them a little bit longer than normal or necessary, just because they're not as strong as they should be. Now over to my run of beans. I'm picking one out from each side of the bamboo support because I put 2 in on either side in hopes that I would get enough beans germinate, and in fact all of them germinated. I think the sunflowers I have in the back corner have been completely smothered by the potato plants. I'm still fingers crossed that they're gonna peek above the foliage and they'll take off then, but yeah, I think the sunflowers might have had it. I think I've planted too many potatoes in this small space, and that's something I've learnt and I'm going to learn for next year. These are some international kidneys that were my husband's request. The marigolds look very small still. These onions came from a plant sale at Village Hall. These were from another YouTuber, Steve at Digwell Green Fingers. I might be pushing my luck a bit with the amount of onions in these little pots, but we shall see. These are more potato plants. I've had to move them over, so you'll see a few potato plants dotted around. The messy corner is still messy. The blueberry bush looks like a blueberry bush. The rhubarb needs a good cheer and clap because it's doing amazingly in this big pot. There was only 1 or 2 shoots. I don't know if that's what you call them when we first bought the plant, but now there's 7 going on 8. It's just loving that. I've been cutting the flowers off my potato plants when I spot them because I heard it makes them concentrate on growing potatoes rather than flowers. So that's what I've been doing. I don't think I've seen many other people do that. Another new plant, a shame. Every time I go to the garden centre I pick something up. This is cucamelon hybrid, I think, kind of plant. So it's a cucumber melon crossover, and they're meant to have nice little fruits, so we'll give that a go. Another new plant, spinach. It was looking very sad when I repotted it, but it's doing well now. And over here, I didn't thin out my carrots, but it looks like nature has done it for me. I think that's an okay amount of carrots in these pots now, and the parsnips are very depleted. The onions have started to do well. I planted these from seed, so I'm a little bit proud, so I really do hope they go all the way. Potato jungle again, and my lavender looks so pretty. This is the one my dad had in his garden, so I wanted to make sure I had the same kind of lavender, and I do. The dwarf French green beans, again like the runner beans, I put 2 in each pot. And now I'm just going to pull 1 out from each because they all did they all germinate? 5 out of 6 germinated. And there is 1 dodgy plant that has been eaten, and I'm not sure it's going to make it. So I'm going to repot one of these beside it in that bucket in hopes that one of those plants do well. And then again, I will come back and I'll remove one. The tomato cherries have so many flowers on. They're not tumbling yet, and I'm guessing it's just a matter of time before the plant grows over. My plum tomatoes are looking very bushy. I have been trying to thin out the leaves at the bottom and to encourage it to grow upwards. The marigolds, again, small over here. The olive tree has so many flower buds on it. So many. Can't wait for that all to come out and open. My rocket has gone really twiggy. I've cut off the flowers, but I don't think I was quick enough, and it just looks sad. Everything else in the herb garden seems to be doing really well. Again, my carrots down here have been naturally thinned out, shall we say, by our friends the slugs. The cherry trees, cherries are starting to turn colour. I think maybe a bit too early. Again, herb garden looks really good. This is another plant I brought at the village hall sale. It's a dill. It's doubled in size since I repotted it a week or two ago. And I have an aphid issue in my garden, so I was looking for chemical-free ways to sort that issue, and I come across ladybirds. Now, I know you guys in America call them ladybugs, and I have had Americans laugh at me before for calling them ladybirds, because they just think of the character out of King of the Hill. Their pet dog's called Ladybird, and I was like, no, we call ladybugs ladybirds over here. So there you go, fun fact. So they came in the post. There's 100 in here. They came with their food, a calico bag to put them in, the instructions, and they got a booklet to try and sell some more products. They arrived on a very hot day, so I'm not sure if they all made it. They're so small you can't tell. And it says to put them out early evening, which we did do. So we put some of their food in the bottom of the calico bag, and then you tip them into the bag. You leave a bit of a gap at the top, so when they're mature enough they'll escape. And we just tie this onto the tree with the most aphids on it, so hopefully they could get some food. We also took one of the leaves with aphids on and put it into the bag so they could find food that way as well. So yeah. So that's our ladybirds. Now, I'm not sure what they're playing at, because they should be young adults by now, and this tree is more covered than it has ever been. Being young adults, I have no idea what they're doing, but they're clearly not eating the aphids off this tree. The sunflowers over here are doing much better than the ones that are smothered by the potatoes, so I will have some sunflowers this year. Now over to this corner. If you remember, my strawberries that are on this top layer were very hardy and didn't look like they were going to do very well, but they have so many strawberries on them, and they've actually started to grow upwards now and look a lot more healthier. The ones down below have also got flowers growing on them. And these are another garden centre buy, which is some dwarf peas. 2 of them didn't survive repotting, and the others haven't seemed to be doing anything yet. I created this little support trellis from just 2 bits of wood that were in the shed and some string. All these strawberries up here are starting to ripen and turn red. And there's something in the garden I've been meaning to show you, which is my compost bin, which is a hose lock brand, and I asked for one for Christmas from my husband, so he did the research and he bought me this one, which is like a barrel. It's now most like 70% full, which is the fullest you should have it. We've filled it with everything. It has some neat features to it, so we can lock it and you can spin it so it mixes the old with the new, gets some air into it. There's holes on the bottom of this barrel where all the wet juice drains out of, and there's a container at the bottom to catch that. It states it can make compost in 12 weeks, so now it's full. We're going to leave it and wait 12 weeks, and I will report back to you if we have compost or not. Now, those holes on the bottom lead to that container, which you can link up to a hose pipe to help fertilise your garden, whereas I will just drain it into the watering can a bit at a time and mix it that way. Now, it has a neat feature where you can roll that barrel off and roll it to the garden where you want the compost, and it's easy to move the base, so you can just move it around the garden easily. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video. I think quite a lot's grown in the last 2-3 weeks since I last posted a video, and I hope to see you in the next one where we have nice tall beans and dangly tomatoes. Don't forget to like and subscribe.